What's happening, Wisdom Warriors? Back at it for another video. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? Because the energies right now are dense, to say the least. And, I don't know. We got some impactful video coming to you today. So get ready, buckle up, because we got some interesting stuff to talk about. Before we do that, I'm going to draw a card from both decks, the Rider-Waite and the Harmony Tarot deck. And what's really cool is my teacher reached out and we're going to set up a date and he's going to do a reading on me, and so I'm looking forward to that. I'll talk about this probably going to be next week, so I'll talk about that on a video when after the reading, and go from there. But man, today's just been beautiful, man. The weather, the sun, the warmth, the blue skies. Yeah, I mean, another beautiful day to be alive. But we got a lot to talk about, so let me pull these cards, or this card. Wow, did it come out strong? Boy, it didn't even give me a chance. So we got the Four of Swords. I know now what I have to do, put it in this box, and then it will focus on the whatever's in the box. So we got the Four of Swords coming for someone out there. And let's pull from the other deck. I'll tell you what, man, I'm noticing with the Rider-Waite deck, when I shuffle, the cards come a lot quicker than I do with this Harmony Tarot deck. I'm kind of noticing like a big difference when I shuffle. Like a huge difference in the decks. As much as I love this Harmony Tarot deck and the way it looks, maybe it just needs a lot of breaking in and need to connect to it more. But what do we have, Spirit, for whoever's watching this video today? And we actually got 3 cards for you all. 3 cards. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got for you guys out there. We have the Two of Cups. Somebody needed these cards, man. They came out quick, man. I think it looks focused. Alright, so that's the Two of Cups. Then we have the Magician. Another beautiful card. Magician. And we have the Wheel of Fortune. Wow, so this is like a really profound reading for somebody, man. I'll tell you that, because these are all like, I get like really positive vibes from all 3 of these cards. Well, obviously the Magician and the Wheel of Fortune, and even the Two of Cups. I mean, it's all really positive vibes coming from those cards. But there we go, guys. So let's get into this video, all right? Because I got a lot to say, and I want to keep it short, and keep it short and straight to the point. And let me just say this, man. A lot of kind of what I've been talking about lately, on and off, has been a really major aha moment for me. Just in the time that I've had to process in the body and process just in general, because I've been noticing that when I lay down in the morning and do breath work for like 40 minutes, and I do Kundalini yoga right after, I've been noticing like I'm processing a lot of stuff through the body during my practices in the morning. Not only am I processing that way, but I'm processing through the dream state. And what I've been noticing is I roughly go to bed around 9:30, sometimes 10 o'clock, and I literally find myself waking up at like 1:32. I would venture to say between like 1 and 3 or 1 and 4 sometimes, like in that range. It varies every day, but today I think it was like 1:30, somewhere around there, 1:32. And I begin like what I've been kind of doing is either I'll do like a guided meditation for first, or I'll do like a silent meditation where I just listen and but what ends up happening is I find myself going into kind of a deep sleep for a short period of time, and I go into like these really heavy, deep, vivid dreams. And I'm noticing people from my past that I'm sensing their energy in the dream, and I know it's them because your gut and your intuition kind of tells you, like I don't see their face, but I just know when I wake up. I'm like, oh yeah, I know who that was in the dream, and I know, and literally I remember what's going on. And on top of it, I'm exhausted, and it almost feels like I didn't even sleep the whole night. You know what I mean? But like, it feels different than you staying up all night type of thing, or going to bed really really late and then sleeping for like an hour or something. It feels different than that. You still have energy. You're not like falling asleep throughout the day like I used to years ago. And I don't feel like crappy, but I feel like exhausted in the body. And if you're feeling that or experiencing any of this, drop it in the comments, man. Again, please subscribe, please share, please comment, please like. I love you all so much, and I'm so grateful for this community and this channel and everybody that's watching these videos and getting something out of it. I'm truly grateful and blessed to grow. This channel's growing. We have these spurts where it just sits at a number of subscribers, and then all of a sudden it just jumps up. And it's just the algorithms are just, the drill, man. I don't need to go into that, but the point of the matter is, I believe that a lot of us are going through this because our bodies are upgrading, and we're upgrading, and our DNA is waking up, and we're just coming into our authentic, balanced, harmonious self. And the more and more each day goes by, I keep getting these downloads and these just, I don't want to say thoughts. It's just like I get downloads, and these downloads are just keeping me hopeful and optimistic of where we're headed as a collective, and as humanity evolves in this ascension process. Dolores Cannon spoke about this numerous times in her book, Three Waves of Volunteers. And, that book was written many, many, many years ago, and, it was way ahead of its time. The fact of the matter is, we're going through this as a whole. And what's interesting about the whole thing is, I keep getting these downloads about balance, and how our divine connections are coming in. I know I've said this on other videos, but we need to rehear this. We need to rehear things, and each time that I come on, it's in a different way, and it comes through differently. So it may sound kind of similar, but it's not. Each and every day, I experience different downloads and understanding. I get a deeper understanding of what's happening. And the more and more I get these messages and these downloads, I'm feeling deep resonance with an alignment with what's going on and what's happening. And even like I noticed today when I went to this facility that I go to for where I'm doing some detox uh, stuff to detox the body. I had a conversation with this amazing, beautiful soul, and I'm not going to go into detail, but I was telling her about my father, and you know, you could just tell, like being in her presence, like her personality and her soul essence is so like warm and loving, and you could tell like from a pure heart, you know. And you know what really touched me was she said your father was a special man, and I'm getting chills just telling you this because he was and he is. And you know, the fact of the matter is she recognized it in him, you know, more than he recognized it in himself. And she was so grateful that I'm still coming there, and you know, and we had a pretty decent deep conversation, you know. And you could tell that she really cared for him, you know. And it really touched me, you know. And but I could tell when we were like, she was on the other side of the desk and I was on the other side, and I was standing up against the desk and she was sitting down on the other side of it, and we were talking and talking, and I could feel the balance. And this is what I mean by it's not only happening with romantic connections or romantic partnerships, it's also happening just by you coming together with somebody that maybe you had a relationship with by going to a facility. Maybe you went to like get acupuncture, or maybe you went to a health food store or a supermarket, and you had known this person for several years and you had conversations. Well, over these years since we hit 2020 and probably 2020 and beyond till now, a lot of people have been and are transforming, completely transforming. And then you come in contact with them and they know you, because mind you, I haven't seen her in a while. We crossed paths when I went to go get some things done, and she would say, hey, how you doing? But we never actually had a conversation about what happened. And when I saw her today, I said to her, you know, did they tell you my father passed? And she says, yeah, I heard, but I don't know exactly what happened. So I went in. She says, if you don't mind me asking, what actually happened? And I went into more detail. And as we were conversating, it felt so balanced, like just being in her presence and me being in, or her being in my presence and me being in her presence. And that's what I mean by these divine connections coming together and bringing humanity into balance. So, me and her having that conversation, we were tipping the scales. We were balancing the collective. Now, mind you, it's not going to happen overnight, and it's not going to happen just by two people coming together. But it's happening by me and her coming together and conversating about what we conversated about, and just being connected in that way, and knowing each other pre all of this happening, because I've been going there for the last couple years. So I think that I started going there before the pandemic, before 2020 happened. I'm pretty sure, or maybe it was in 20. No, actually, it was in 2020, I think, going into 2021. So yeah, it was during. Uh, so that's what I've been talking about balance, and the divine DMs, divine masculines, and DFs, the divine feminines coming together. No matter what kind of relationship it is, they're coming together and bringing balance in. And I'm just seeing it more and more in content that I'm watching, and when I go out and about, and just it's like so natural to speak on this because I just literally, like, I don't know, man. I just know my it's like you feel it within, you feel it deep down, and that's your higher self, your soul talking to you, but a lot, and your intuition, but a lot of us ignore it or doubt it or question it, or think it's a thought that, oh, I thought this, like I've made it up in my head, like if you know, man, and it's just like a relationship that I was in a couple years ago, well, more than a couple years ago, more than 5 years ago. And, you know, that relationship came about at the time for balance, but not only balance, but there was a purpose for that. There was a contracted purpose, for that individual to come in and wake me up, so to speak, another awakening. Because, mind you, I've been through many, many awakenings. And I know deep down, really, honestly, what I'm here for, but I don't know how it's all going to unfold. And that's okay. But I know that I'm here to share and to help and to guide humanity on this awakening, this great awakening, this ascension process. I know that I am here to do that. And when you know, you know. And it took me 44 years to say I know when I know I know, and I could say it with deep conviction, and I just don't know exactly how this is going to unfold and how it's going to take place and how my divine connection is going to come in. Do I know that's going to happen? 1000%. And yet I'm at the point where I want to give you a affirmation that I picked up on this transmission or channeling, and I want you to say this, write this down, and say it, because when I tell you, this can really help you to attract in what you want to attract in, and it's giving you the opportunity to let go and not try to control the outcome, which is kind of essentially pushing it away, whatever you want. So here's the affirmation or the mantra. Let me rephrase that mantra. I don't chase, I attract. What belongs to me will find me. Write that down, repeat it every day, repeat it as much as often, put it in your car, on your dash, put it on your fridge, put it everywhere. Just repeat it over and over again, because this is a very, very powerful mantra. And I'm so grateful that I was on and heard this, and she spoke it in her video, and it was a transmission. And I don't chase, I attract. What belongs to me will find me. So repeat that over and over and over again. And just remember that you don't chase anything, you attract it in. And the more you do that, the more you lean into that, the more you drop into that, the more these things are going to come to you, and you won't have to chase them. Because essentially, when you're doing that, you're pushing the energy away. It's just like money. It's like anything. Like if you're chasing it, you're pushing it away essentially. So why not allow it to come to you, and just allow it to just come to you. Let go. Just throw up your hands, man. Take the wheel. Take the wheel, universe. I throw up my hands, and just allow for it to come to you. But the fact of the matter is that the more each and every day since I've been doing this, and if you've been watching, we have I think 199 videos up right now, and it's going to keep going and going, and the channel's going to keep growing and growing, man. And to be honest with you, when I tell you this has been a constant thing. Now, mind you, at one point I was feeling like I had to let go a lot and throw up my hands and type of thing. And now I'm in this. I keep getting these messages about balance and to take care of our vessel, our body. right? And what I want to go into this a little bit because you know this goes this goes along with like balance, but also having that awareness of how you're taking care of your body. Are you getting enough rest? Are you doing a practice consistently every day, like meditation, yoga, whatever the case may be, exercise at the gym, whatever? Doesn't matter. Whatever is your vice, whatever is your whatever you like and you feel called to, do it. Do it as a practice. But see, the thing of it all is you don't want to get to the point, which I watched a lot of people close to me that happened to, which I feel like their lives were cut short and they had a lot more to do here, and they weren't they weren't doing the research, they weren't being cognizant of what they're doing to their body. Are they taking care of it? Are you doing personal hygiene? Are you just taking care of your health? Are you reading and doing research and things of that nature and taking your life and your body in your hands versus like relying on some system to tell you a diagnosis and that you have only a certain time left? Like, why wait till then? Why not take your life in your own hands? Again, I've said this hundreds of times on this channel. We have free will and freedom of choice and free choice, or free will and choice. And if you're not like doing the research and doing things to better your health, then don't wonder why you end up all of a sudden like your head popped out of the sand and you're like, oh my God, what the fuck? And all of a sudden some person comes in and tells you you have this amount of time left. Like, why wait for that? Why not take your life in your hands versus like putting your life in their hands? Because as I said, I've seen numerous people do that and lose their life. And at that point, the body is it's overdue. You know, like there comes a certain point that when you do too much overdoing and too much addictions and all this stuff and just really throwing your body around, and where it's not in balance and you're not listening to it and you're not paying attention what is good and bad, and then you find yourself constantly with allergies or colds or the body's breaking down over and over again. And this is a common theme that was happening to me. And I found myself at acupuncture and different alternative physicians telling me, man, you're always here. Like, and then it started to get less and less as I took care of myself more and more. Yet I was still finding myself with issues. But then it got kind of perpetually worse. And then I hit those multiple rock bottoms. But see, the thing is I was relying on just anything like, oh, this tasted good. Oh, watching this all day long and consuming content all day long and, you know, just not exercising, not moving the body, not listening to the body and what the body needs. You know, and detox was a major thing that my father did 20, 30 years ago in the 80s. He was fasting like more than a week, more than that. You know, and the interesting thing is, well, not even really get into that because, you know, of this channel, and I don't want, I'm not a doctor and I'm not giving you medical advice, and I'm just telling you my experience, and I'm telling you that it's very important to detox the body, and fasting is really good for us. You know, it gives our body a chance to not work as hard, trying to digest the food, you know, and so the more chances we can give the body to rest, because it's working so hard every day to keep us as healthy as it possibly can. Maybe you may say, well, I don't feel healthy. The fact is your body is constantly trying to keep you healthy, as you know, and trying to come back into balance. You know, the fact of the matter is what are your thoughts? What are you thinking? Are you thinking negative things towards your body? Are you thinking negative things in general towards yourself? Not that negative things aren't bad, because we have to, that's part of life too. You know, we have to experience all of it. The fact of the matter is, though, what are you constantly thinking and your thoughts? Because that is the most powerful thing, even more powerful than food and water. You know, and a lot of those thoughts are not even ours. um, and yet we attach to them, and we take them on as if they're ours. And especially the ones where we're shaming ourselves or judging ourselves or criticizing ourselves. You know, and um, you know, like, we need to like love on ourselves more and give ourselves more love, and take time off of social media and detox from it, and detox from all this technology, and just get out in nature with nothing, with no technology. Like, I went before this video, I've been finding myself with no idea of what I'm going to come on here and talk to you guys about. Yet I go out in nature and I go for walks, and I leave my technology at home, and I go out there and I just get out there and just with me and nature, you know, and it's the most profound, powerful, peaceful, aligning, balancing thing you can do. You know, versus like going out. I'm not gonna say if you go out there and you're on your phone, fine. You're still out in nature. It's still, you know, it's still bringing you into balance in some way. The fact of the matter is, you would get a much deeper, profound experience without the technology. You know, and so, you know, try to do that. You know, and try to like pay attention to your breathing. You know, like your chest rising and falling, like I do when I go out there. You know, I focus on the breath going in and out. You know, I focus on my chest rising and falling. And that all brings us back into balance. And that's the key to mastering life. Literally. I can tell you right now, that is a, a fact of the matter. The formula to life is mastering life is balance. You know, and if you can find these things in your life that bring you back to balance, whether it could be a divine connection, it could be a romantic partner, it could be your husband or wife, it could be a friend, it could be somebody you frequent, a place you frequent every day or every week and whatever, and you have these conversations. That could be somebody that is in balance and you're in balance. It could be two men, and one man could have a balanced feminine side, and the other man could have a balanced masculine, and you guys could come together and just be BSing and talking about whatever, and balancing the scales for both of you. You know, that's why a lot of times, if you pay attention to when you come in contact with somebody, if it feels good to you and you feel like aligned and in balance, it's a good relationship. You know, and if it doesn't and it feels like chaotic and completely off balance, then it's not a good relationship, and it's probably not a good idea for you to continue to, you know, engage in that, or put yourself around that. You know, so it's interesting. The more and more I talk about this, and the more deeper we get with it, because the reason this is coming up, and I'm getting chills saying this, because the reason this is coming out and coming through me is because divine source, God, is working through me with these messages I'm bringing to you. And this is where we are as a collective, as a whole, in humanity, and where we're headed. We're headed more and more to balance. As we move forward, humanity is coming more and more into balance. So these addictions that we would have, like, where we overdo and excessively play video games like I told you I did all day and night, that's out of balance. Or excessively drinking, getting trashed every day or every weekend or whatever, that is out of balance. Or eating tons of, like, going trick-or-treating and getting a big pillowcase of candy and just eating the whole pillowcase. You know, that is out of balance. Versus having things that are in moderation. you know, and the moderation and sex, same thing, overdoing it 5, 6 times a day, every day during the week. You know, I've got to have it every single day, 10 times a day, whatever. That's overdoing it. That's not moderation. But you'll see people in the external world that believe that's normal and that's okay, and it's not. I don't care what it is. If you're not having something in moderation and figure out what actually moderation is, because people will think, oh, I have it several times a week and that's moderation. Not necessarily. It's very much not. And so you have to really figure out what moderation is to you and what it means to you. And essentially ask yourself or your body, is this okay? Am I having this in moderation? Am I overdoing this? You'll get the answers. You'll get the answers. So that goes with everything. I don't care what it is. You know, working at a job, 17 hours a day, 80 hours a week. That's overdoing. That's not moderation. That's not balance by any means. And then you have to start going inward, and you have to what do I need to do to bring this area of my life back into balance, like my career, where I'm overdoing it and I'm working 70, 80 hours a week. How can I bring this into balance, right? And then you start evaluating why you need to do that and how you can maybe pay off a lot of the stuff that you have so that you don't have that many expenses, and then you can cut down the amount of time. The more work you do inward, right, through meditation and yoga, through nature, through all these things, it will naturally come into balance eventually. It takes time. And then your external world your internal world will project out into your external world, and it will automatically come into balance, you know? So you have to start evaluating those areas that you're doing excessively or overdoing, or there's addictive habits or vices that you're using, or whatever the case may be. Why are you doing that? And what is causing you to do that? And then you lead it back to, well, am I buying too much? Am I shopping too much? Am I spending too much every month? And that's forcing me to have to work more to pay that stuff. So why not I cut back on that? Or why not I start waking up an hour earlier and meditating, sitting with myself and allowing what's coming through to come through, so I can then have these creative ideas to how I can make that part of my life more in balance. You know what I mean? So it all comes back to you, and nothing in the external is going to save you in that. You can go to therapy, you can go to different things that will assist you, but in the end, you have to come back home to yourself, and you have to evaluate within, and come within, and come home to yourself, and that, my friends, is the answer, and how you will find yourself in balance in those areas that are not, in those areas that are chaotic to you, or just don't feel right, or don't feel in alignment. And I'm starting to evaluate different areas for myself. Like I struggle playing in the Matrix. I just don't feel like aligned in it, and I realize that a lot of it has to do with the fact that I overdid a lot of the things in the Matrix. In the 3D, I overdid so much in there, and it got to the point where I kind of am like this, no, 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 because I have that fear of like, oh well, if I go down that path again and dabble in that again, I could become addicted again and have that addiction and just become consumed by it. And in actuality, I'm a new person now, and I'm different, and I'm not the same as I was, and I'm more in balance. I feel like I'm in balance. Again, there's always areas we can work on and come in better balance, and I know there's areas I have to work on. So I'm in the process of that, and I'm evaluating that. You know, um, realizing versus being unconscious like I was before, and clueless that I was even overdoing anything, like going to the gym over 3 hours a day, 7 days a week. That was overdoing and excessive, and it became an addiction. You know, and then the 2020 hit, and I got pulled away from it, and I had to go through withdrawal. I was slowly, gradually, more and more becoming depressed. And now I realize, looking back in hindsight, I had to go through that because it was withdrawal from it, from the addiction. And that's what we end up essentially going through with withdrawal. And we don't even realize it. But the more and more you could take these breaks from these things, like, oh, take a break from the gym for a few months. And sometimes we get sick or we get a cold, which forces us out of it. And then we have like a month or two where we can't go. We just aren't able to go. Some people still go regardless, when really they should be slowing down and not going, and taking care of their body and their mind and their spirit, but they're so addicted and they can't let it go. But me, I was forced. Literally, we were all forced because they were closed. So I was forced into that withdrawal, and it was well needed. It kind of steered me in a new direction, to the yoga, the Kundalini yoga, the meditation, the breath work, all these things I've been doing, the Reiki, everything, man. So I'm truly grateful for that withdrawal, and that closing of the gyms, because I don't think I'll go back. I may go to like a yoga studio or things like that, but as far as like a gym, I don't think so. Not at this point. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. There will be more to come about this topic. I never know every day what's coming through, and it just comes through, and however it comes through, it comes through. I love you all so much. I'm so grateful that that you're a part of this community, and that if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, please share, please comment, please like. I love reading the comments. I'm just so excited. Whether you like it or not, this channel's growing, and we are going to get these messages out to whoever needs them. Again, I love you all so much. Thank you again for listening, and I hope you really did get something out of it. And if you did, that's okay too. Again, from my heart to yours, I love you all so much. Keep watching. More and more to come. So, yeah, man, that's all I got for you. I love you guys. Take care. From my heart to yours. Let's go, Wisdom Warriors. We got this.